Hi, today I want to show you some really cool tools in Bluebeam, how to sketch, draw some shapes and polygons, easily label them, and then even create a legend. So let's jump right in. All right, so this drawing is basically what I'm going to try to create. Different shapes that can be adjusted. At the same time, when they adjust, the legend will automatically update the quantities. I also really like this one. If I change the shapes, all these little dimensions change as well. Those dimensions will add automatically. I can come in and add points and more dimensions will come in. The different areas will automatically adjust at the same time. So another thing you can do, I could take this shape and I could change this to a different color, and that would add a different item into my legend. I could click on this item. I could change the label to dirt to make another item. So let's look at how you would even do that. So here's a blank drawing. The tool I'm using is the polygon sketch to scale. May want to draw in shapes different ways. I can type in 30 feet, rotation, and just change the rotation as I'd like to. 50 feet, 75, or I can just snap onto things and I can double click to end, and it will create a shape. Now this can be adjusted with different fill conditions. I can change the hatching. What I really like is if I click on the show segment values, it actually adds in dimensioning. Now the dimensioning links to the shade. So I'm going to want to make this 100 if I want these to show up exactly right. And one thing I'll want to make sure I click is on the units. I want to make sure I change this to feet, and that will make sure they're in feet. Now within this show segment values, by clicking on the measurement tool, I can adjust to align horizontally if I'd like to look at it in that direction, or I can align it to segment, which I think is a little bit easier to read. Now, if I right click on this, I can click on legend and create a new legend, which will come down here. And your legend, by clicking on the properties tab, will have something in the description. Now, what I've decided to do is click on label. And if I add in a label, I can now type this in as concrete, and that will show up in this area. Now, if I copy this over and create another shape that's stylistically the exact same, it will also add up in the quantities tab. However, if anything is different, for example, if I just click highlighter, it's now going to split those into different units. So I could change this to dirt, and that would add that to a different one. If I change it back to concrete, it's different. You can actually see they're different because I capitalized the C, but now they're back to the same. Now, if I come in here and I make a new, you can see this is a different style. So why didn't it show up in here? Well, for whatever reason, it has to actually match the style of these to first populate in the table. And then if you go ahead and change it, then it will break out into different sections. Changes to 100, make this concrete, and then magically it jumps in. And now, if I delete this, it separates out. It's a little bit confusing. So if I were creating a table like this, I'd probably try to draw all my shapes in first, get them the way I wanted them, and then you can go ahead and highlight all these items, right click and hit legend, create a new legend, and that will go ahead and add everything in the way you want it. So then I can come in and change this to label. I can go ahead and add in a label here if I so choose, and that would be the best way I'd recommend to do that. All right, I hope this helps you draw some cool shapes in Bluebeam. Thank you very much.